So your days are hectic, busy, and you can never seem to get everything done. I get it. Our lives can be busy and stopping for just a second can be stressful. But hitting the pause button so you can actually get some clarity and a handle on your life and business might be the best thing you can do. And taking that strategic pause is absolutely invaluable when planning your day. So productivity and time management have always been a hot topic because we can't actually manage time, but we can manage our attention and focus. And that's what we're going to be setting out to do today. In this video, I'll be going over how to plan your day so you can get organized, be productive, and finally beat the daily overwhelm. So I get a ton of questions on calendar blocking or time blocking, which is a concept we're going to use, and I'll walk you through the basics. By the end of this video, you should have a clear list of your tasks, an optimized calendar, and a lot less stress. And typically you want to plan as much of the week as you can ahead of time. Ideally, you want to plan the day the night before or maybe the Sunday at the beginning of the week. But in this case, let's just plan one day at a time right here, right now. So let's get to it. So step one, start with a mind sweep. Write down everything you have to do or are thinking of on a list. Find all of your to-do lists and consolidate them all into one big list. This might take some time, and I use a task management system called Trello, but you can do it on a piece of paper. And the goal here is to get everything out of your head and onto the paper or the app. And this is going to give you the mental space to think and plan. You can't be productive if you're always stressed and overwhelmed. So take the time to make a thorough list of all your tasks, to-do lists, checklists, and projects. And now you'll have your list. We'll have to figure out where to start. Step two, prioritization. Now that you have a master list of everything you have to do, it's time to prioritize that list. This way you can make sure you're going about your day in a way that urgent and important things are taken care of first. This is the key to optimizing your day for productivity. So let me introduce you to the Eisenhower priority matrix. On one axis of the matrix, we have urgent and not urgent. And on the other axis of the matrix, we have important and not important. And it's all broken into 4 different quadrants. So quadrant 1, when a task or project is both urgent and important, it falls into quadrant 1, which is the do category. You're going to want to take these tasks and have them as top priorities on your to-do list. At the beginning of each week, you want to put these tasks as early as possible and allocate enough time to get them all done. Quadrant 2, when a task is important but not urgent, it falls into that second category, which is the plan category. And in this case, you can move those tasks to the following week or put it on a list to do next month. Those are things that you're going to push down on your plan, but they're not relevant right at the moment. When a task or project is not important but urgent, it falls into quadrant 3, which is the delegate category. Now there are 3 scenarios here. 1, you can delegate it to someone on your team if you have a team. 2, if you don't have a team, you can outsource it to somebody else. And 3, in the case of something that's done on a computer or software, you have the ability to automate it. Quadrant 4, when a task is not urgent and not important, it falls into the delete category. In this case, you're going to want to just cross it off your list because it's not worth your time. These type of tasks can really kill your productivity, and make sure that you trim the fat when it comes to your task list. Now that you know the matrix and all of the quadrants, it's time to rewrite your master list with the tasks in the quadrants. If you're using a task management software, make sure the 4 main lists are the titles of the quadrants, and then put those tasks into the respective lists. Trello is the task management software I use, but you really can use any software. And if you're working with a team, I highly suggest checking out Trello. I'll have a link in the description below. I also have a ton of videos that will get you started with Trello on the YouTube channel. Step 3, daily highlight. I got this concept of the daily highlight from a book called Make Time. So a daily highlight is one task that has to be completed that day. Of all your things on your to-do list, this task, above all else, must be completed today. In most cases, it's going to be the task or project that you take from quadrant 1. Once that task is selected, you're going to put it directly into your calendar. And typically, you don't want to put too many tasks directly into your calendar because you don't want it to turn into a to-do list. But in this case, you're putting high priority on it, so the daily highlight is going to go directly in the calendar. So just know when you plan your week, you're going to have a daily highlight planned each day. So we're halfway through the steps, and if you're finding value in these tips, hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. I release new videos each week, and it's the only way to guarantee that you're up to speed with all of the new productivity content. Step 4, calendar blocking. Now we're gonna get into the actual build out of your day, and we're gonna be using a calendar. And it still surprises me to this day how many people don't operate off a calendar. A calendar is a great way to visualize your day. The concept of calendar blocking is blocking out periods of time in your calendar to do a task. You're gonna add those blocks directly into your calendar, and I'll show you some examples of this. But I want you to start off by blocking out your work, commuting time, meal times, sleep time, working out, time to get ready, and things that occur daily in your calendar. Next, you're gonna put the daily highlight directly into your calendar. Outside of the daily highlight, I don't want you to put a ton of tasks into the calendar. Again, that's what a to-do list is for. We want to make sure the calendar is streamlined. So an example of this is if we have 8 to 10 administrative tasks to do. You don't want to put all of those tasks in the calendar because it will clutter it up. Instead of listing each task on your calendar, just go into your calendar and block off a time for admin. Then when the admin time comes up in your calendar, just reference your task management list and then do those tasks on that category. One tip to take into consideration is how much resources and bandwidth you have to get things done. More often than not, we have less time than we think to get things done because we underestimate how long it takes. Pro tip, plan as much as you can, but you can't be afraid to go off script. You have to be adaptable. Things come up, emergencies happen, schedules shift. In these times, adjust and keep moving forward. Step 5, theme out your time blocks. By now you should have all the time blocks in your calendar and your daily highlight. Now it's time to optimize the hours of the day by theming your calendar with the time blocks. Use a simple color code with the time blocks that matches the themes of your tasks. An example of this is most of my tasks fall within one of 4 categories. 1 being marketing, social media, and content creation. 2 being client work, coaching calls, and appointments. 3 being admin, which could be finance or updating calendars or checking emails or even responding to DMs. And then the 4th is business operations, which could be anything from building a new website to launching a product or anything operationally that happens on the back end of my business. Now what you're gonna do is pick a color for each one of these categories. Every time you add a time block into the schedule, color code it with the respective category. For specific meetings or calls, they get scheduled directly into the calendar. This could be virtual meetings, in-person meetings, or weekly, monthly, or quarterly reviews. If you're not doing a weekly review, it's a must for any productivity system. I'll link it in the card above. Check out my video. I walk you through an entire weekly review. But by now, if you followed all of the steps, you should have a fully organized and planned out day. I have 4 quick tips to consider when truly optimizing your daily schedule. 1, did you plan margin or buffer time? You can't have every single appointment and time block back to back. So make sure that you have buffer time planned in so if things do get behind, you're able to catch back up. Number 2 is protected time. And what protected time is, it's time for yourself. Use this time to relax, work out, read, or doing something that energizes you. You have to plan in the balance. Number 3 is plan mealtime. We can't expect to be productive and have a high energy day if we accidentally starve ourselves. Do yourself a favor and plan in your meals. Number 4, use your time productively. Check out my free productivity starter kit. The link is in the description below. Within 12 minutes, you can save up to 6 hours per week. And it also has some exclusive videos that are going to help you achieve stress-free productivity. Now, if you're looking to have your most productive year where you actually achieve those big goals that you've been talking about, check out my video on how to plan your best year ever. I give you an 8-step system and goal setting to have the most successful year yet. Until next time, stay productive.